task is, I remain confident and optimistic that through our and your attention, commitment, hard work, and dedication, we will be able to contribute to the peace and security landscape across the continent of Africa. Excellencies, allow me to present a brief historical background on how we got to where we are today. Republic of Somaliland received its independence from the United Kingdom 26 June 1960. Notification of that independence was duly registered with the United Nations, and 35 countries recognized Somaliland. Somaliland voluntarily united with Somalia 1st July 1960 to form the Somali Republic. The union was not legally binding, as the Act of Union was never formally signed. Therefore, the unification effort fell short of the requirements mandated by domestic and international law. From the beginning, the union malfunctioned as Somaliland people were hugely oppressed. The people of Somaliland expressed their displeasure with the union by overwhelming voting against the new constitution in the referendum held in 1961, and followed full-scale struggle against the Somali Republic. The result in the collapse of Somali Republic in 1991 and the restoration of the independence of the Republic of Somaliland 18 May 1991. Since restoring our independence, Somaliland, with its scarce resources and with limited international support, has embarked on a steady, incremental, and progressive agenda of conflict resolution, peace building, and state building, and established good governance and functioning government institutions. We conducted a constitutional referendum in which 97% of Somalilanders voted to support the constitution and the independence. Somaliland, during that period, has made rounds of multi-party free and fair elections, including 3 rounds of presidential elections, 2 rounds of local council elections, and a parliamentary election. Republic of Somaliland has created a conducive environment that enabled a thriving private sector and an inflow of international investment. Somaliland has played an important role in the peace and security of the region and has been a reliable partner in the fight against terrorism, piracy, human trafficking, money laundering, and other forms of organized crimes. Unfortunately, instead of appreciating all those efforts and contributions made by the Somaliland people for the last 30 years, Somalia was in a constant war against the development of Somaliland, economically, security, investment, and this deepened the mistrust and animosity between the two countries. Ever since Somaliland entered hastily into a voluntary union with Somalia, the Somaliland people has been at the receiving end of injustice, discrimination, and state-sponsored genocide at the hands of the Somali government. Evidence of the widespread war crimes committed against the people of Somaliland has been fully documented by the United Nations Special Rapporteur for Human Rights and the forensic team from Physicians for Human Rights and Somaliland War Crime Commission. The acts of genocide perpetrated by the Siad Barre regime and are memorialized in more than 200 mass graves in our country. The mass graves, which are still being unearthed, will forever testify to the crimes against humanity committed by the government of Somalia against the people of Somaliland. Therefore, in approaching this present situation in Somaliland and Somalia, it's necessary to have a proper regard to the past and learn lessons from it. The legacy of the oppression against the people of Somaliland cannot be easily swept away. Rather, they must be acknowledged and taken into account when considering Somaliland people's rights to self-determination and independence. The case for Somaliland independence is not unique. This fact is also acknowledged by the African Union mission to Somaliland